I'm here with a gentleman who wishes to remain anonymous, as so many people do, for different reasons, and we're respecting that. And we're just going to call him Mr. M, so he won't even use his first name. Mr. M had an experience on the Solomon Islands. Now, we've heard this before from other researchers, in particular Steve Quayle, who's been talking about giants in the Solomon Islands. So we seem to have corroborating evidence, and we'll ask Mr. M momentarily what he encountered. So you were living on the Solomon Islands for about how long?
I was working in Solomon Island for over a period of 10 years.
10 years.
I was working for the government. And during that stay, I was living in the capital city, Honiara. But on several occasions, I had to go to the western province of Solomon Island, to a city called Gisu. It was a small city, 6,000–7,000 people living there. So when I came to that city, I needed a transportation from a local person to go to a remote island where nobody was living.
So this is, when you say remote island, I mean this is like, because there are many islands.
Many islands. And on that specific island, nobody was living there.
Nobody was living there, okay.
So the manager of the small hotel said, I will find a man for you that can take you in a boat and go to that island. So he did so. And the next morning he said to me, no, I have the man just go to the jetty, and the man will be sitting in a boat. So next morning I went to the jetty, and of course there was a man sitting in a big canoe, because they had used the trunk of a tree and made it hollow. So
okay.
And he had the outboard engine.
So it has a motor on the back of a wooden canoe, okay, which was a log actually.
Yeah.
All right.
So he was sitting.
So this is pretty primitive, and yet it's got some modern conveniences.
So he was sitting there in the back of the boat, and I sat in front of him. So when we started the ride, I started to talk with him, because he was a man of, let me say, roughly 70 years old. So from the hotel's information, I had written that in the past, the people on Solomon Island, they were cannibals. They were eating each other. So I said to the
let me stop you there. The cannibalism on the Solomon Islands is a matter of historical record.
Yes.
So that's widely known. It's been proven. It's a fact.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Okay.
So he told me that he was belonging to a special tribe, and there was another tribe side by them. So they used, when it was sometimes in a year, when it was little food, they used to go hunting each other to have something to eat. Mm. So I was laughing to him, because it was unbelievable for me, this. So I said to him, have you really eaten a man? Of course I have, he said. And believe me, he said, it was a very good meat. Oh. So I started laughing. But he said, no, this is true. But the problem was, he said, that in 1937, I think, we became a member of Great Britain. So then there came a new law forbidding us to eat people. And that was a shame, he said.
So, old habits die hard, I get that.
So he told me, I have been hunting people and killed them, and we brought them home to our tribe, and we ate them. So that is a bit funny for me, because when he was talking, I saw in the bottom of the boat, it was a long, not an arrow, but what you call this?
A spear?
Yeah, spear, yeah.
Okay.
So I was thinking, oh, maybe he's right. I know I'm going to a remote island, so he will kill me and eat
exactly.
me. Yeah. So I started to do some strategic planning. How can I escape this man? So anyway, we went to the island, and I said to the man when we came to the shore, just be sitting in the boat. I will go to the island and myself will go around the island. It took roughly half an hour to walk around that island, a beautiful island. So, because I was doing my job to make a study of, a feasibility study of the island. So he said, okay, I will sit there. So I went around the island, and I was planning how to escape this man, because now he has his spear and he's coming after me. He can just jump to the woods and grasp me on the other side of the island. But I was walking around the island, and when I came back to where the boat was, I could see the boat, and the man was sitting in the boat with the spear on his knee. So I thought, no, I'm finished. So when I came to the boat, I said to him, are you ready to go? Yes, just jump on board, he said. And when I came on board in the canoe, I saw a lot of lobster in the boat. So I said, where has the lobster come from? And he said, no, I have this spur, so that is the way we catch lobster.
Oh,
so I was,
that's good, okay.
Yeah, so I was relaxed, but then he told me something, because I asked him once more about this cannibalism. So he said, yeah, we were for many years, we were catching each other and eating each other. But in one period, we had some visit of some huge people, he said.
Huge people.
People. We just called them guides, he said. So I said, what kind of people was that? He said, it was some strange creature that lived high up in the mountain, in the jungle. And they lived in caves, he said. So I said, yeah, but what kind of people? He said, they were very, very tall, and they were running so fast. But when we were hunting, we were 9, 10 people together, and we climbed the trees, and were sitting in the trees. So when one of these guys came, we hunted him from all sides with the sparrow and sent to him. And in that way, we could catch him and kill him. And then he said, we had food for days, because he was so big. They had to cut him in pieces and then carry him home to the tribe and then eat him. So he said we had food for many days, and I was laughing because it was unbelievable for me.
It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right.
So, because I never heard a thing like that. So
So let me ask you something. This 70-year-old man,
yeah.
So you go back 50, when was this? What
was
year?
In 2001, I think.
Okay, so let's go back 50 years. It's 1950. He's a 20-year-old man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
is that so?
yeah.
He's directly involved in this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he told several stories about that. So, but I had problem to believe him. When I finished the work on that island, I went back to the capital city where I had an appointment with the Prime Minister the same day. So when in the meeting with the Prime Minister, I said I had a strange experience in Giso. So I told him what the old man told me. So he said to me, Mr.
So he said to you, Mr. M.
Yeah. We are ashamed of our future in the nation, because that has been part of our history to each it up. So we don't like to talk about it. So that's why we put a lead on it. We don't like it, because we are a civilized people. But then he said, anyway, from time to time we hear stories that it's still going on other islands around. because they are very insulated, far away from the city. So, but then I told him, what about this huge creature he was
These
talking
giants.
Yeah, giant. Oh, he said, okay, that is also true, because over the generations there have been this huge creature living up in the mountain.
Did he say how big this thing was?
No, but the first man, he told me they were 12, 15 feet tall.
Wow.
No.
12 to 15 feet tall.
So the Prime Minister said, oh, that is a true story, but it's still going on, he said. From time to time, we have the information that some people suddenly disappear, and there is no trace of where they are. So we know for sure they are taking people as food and eat them up in the mountain. So that's what he told me about. He said, that is true, but we don't talk much about it because we don't like the situation. So and I came back to Solomon for many years, and I talked with other people that confirmed what he said.
So let me ask you something. If we were to say to you, could you take us? Because that's not that long ago. The Prime Minister might not be in power, but you could take us and maybe we could mount an expedition and try to find one of these things.
Yeah, that is a possibility, but unfortunately, the Prime Minister died 2 years after that, so there is a new Prime Minister now. And I know him also.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but when I came here last year, and I was listening to Tim Alberino. He was telling there had been a team to Solomon Island. I was sitting listening to him, and I thought maybe I should tell him what I have experienced. But since he's not here this year, I will tell you, because you are working similar.
Yes, we are.
So that was my story.
Mr. M, thank you so much for coming on the record, and let's see about mounting some sort of an expedition there and photographing it, filming it, even if we could get the bones of it. I mean, you know, I'm sure one of the tribes has bones of these things. Thank you for coming on the record. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hello. My name is Wojtek Bobilewicz. I come from Poland. I arrived to Solomon Islands to find out something about the way the local people live, and also to find out something about the legends or myths, as the scientists call them, regarding giants and lights in Solomon Islands. And I believe these are not legends or myths. This is a true story. With me is the chief of the Chapuru village, Joseph Jeppe, a very wise and well-educated man who helps us with our research and who can tell us a number of very interesting stories today. Here we are in this very nice village of Chapuru, and I know you are the chief of this village, and you've told us a lot of exciting stories. So we are first of all interested in your ancestors, because you told us you had ancestors back in the times when there was headhunting here and cannibalism. Could you tell us a few words about it?
Yes, exactly. For my history, I'm originally from Tangrare, and there is a tribal war in the late 17th and 16th centuries. My great-grandmothers had moved from that place to these areas, and they live here with a lot of our warriors. And later on, some of our people come and collect my mother's bag. Then we live there. And during also on that time, during that the tribal war, they also killed my great-grandfather, which is he's the original leader of our home there back at Tangrare. Then, yes, they killed him. They put him on top. He stood on top of a stone. Then later, these warriors. That is, I believe, is at the end of 18th century. That is during the time when the Australian government have set back all these people that work in those plantations during that time.
When you were discussing your ancestors and the village of Chapuru, you also said you mentioned something about giants. Could you explain to us who or what giants are and what major types of giants exist?
Right, exactly. There were three types of giants, especially in Golden Canal. One is a kind of small type of human form-like, and also another one is kind like a real human being, kind on our height. Another one is a very huge one. It's a very big one that is also can become invisible. So those three types of giants are living right in Golden Canal. Well, to describe them is to me is simply like the gorilla face and bodies and with a type of powerful type of the gorillas, and because they are very strong type of let's call them animals something, or homoid or whatsoever, they can carry even very heavy logs and break down the trees and all those things like that. Even the humans, they can carry humans with their bare hands and carry them to the mountains, those very steepy mountains. They are not so too intelligent because what actually happened to them is they only have two mindsets. One is to think about what to eat, another one is to have sex, to reproduce, that's all. And then they are not really friendly. And that's the way they think. In Golden Canal, the giant is really exist, and it's really living in caves under the Mount Tuve, which is the topest point here in the Golden Canal, highest peak in Golden Canal. Whereas in many coastline in the eastern side of the island, they have the tunnel entrance to that place, which is easily we can see them, the tunnel. But the giant, because of they have like the part relationship with the real human beings. And the human beings, the home people believe that the ancestors are coming from that type of people. Or then we must have to go through them by asking them permissions, and even they themselves, their clan themselves within those giants can lead us to this place where they live. But they are really existing in the Golden Canal. So they have a big cities, I believe, in that place. Even in history, we heard about Lati Makoni, and he was one of the king of the giant right now, living in the same cave with those other giants.
But with me is also Warren Aston, a traveler, a researcher, who, just like me, is interested in all sorts of strange and inexplicable phenomena, and who's very much interested in the culture of Solomon Islands and the unknown phenomena. So Warren, what brings you here to Solomon Islands?
The same things. It's a very undeveloped, remote place, least developed in the Pacific, and because of that I think a lot of these things have not been taken seriously.
So you believe these stories about giants' lights and small people and ruins they have. So what do you expect most from this trip? What is your priority number one? What would you like to really...
I think something tangible, something physical that would support the idea that there are still lost races, I prefer to call them, or lost tribes living here in the interior. Absolutely no reason why not, and the whole story of the hobbits in Flores, in the Indonesian islands, tells us that it's no fantasy, and very likely is a link to at least one of these groups of people. And of course they were very small, but there's also no reason why they couldn't be larger species.
Right.
And if we could find some tangible evidence, bones, skulls, something that's clearly larger than human or clearly smaller than human, that would be a major development.
Let's hope that's what is going to happen here.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Well, it will happen one day.
Yeah.